Hi, I'm Daniel Griffith, and the vibe I'm currently on is attempting to learn to play the ukulele. I'm doing an interview with Find Yellow now, and today you'll hear all about my life and journey becoming an ensemble singer with the Lion King UK and Ireland tour.
The Caribbean region oozes talent, extraordinary talent at that. All performers are versatile, skillfully meandering through high powered rhythms, languorous beats, and quick stepping tempos. Yet all versatility defies stereotypical classifications because we are more than soca, calypso, reggae, or tumba. All shores have birthed men and women with remarkable vocals. Their talent earns them recognition among the immense collection of gifted international vocalists. Moreover, their achievements shine the spotlight on our archipelago, forcing the world to reassess us. Daniel Griffith is one such talent that has caused floodlights to beam down on our region as a whole and Trinidad and Tobago in particular. The singer-stage actor has been a member of the UK and Ireland tour of The Lion King for the past 2 years. With a youthful, melodic voice, Daniel flouts Caribbean stereotypes. Exceptionally gifted, he charts a course less traveled. Today, we get to hear about his spectacular journey. I'm Luan Jordan, and welcome to another episode of Caribbean Vibes. Daniel, I am so thrilled for this conversation. I've been looking forward to it. So it's an interesting story, of course, how we were able to get in contact with each other after being invited to a friend's performance. I kind of heard you sing, and I thought, oh my gosh, I just want to have a conversation with this guy. And so I know that we are fellow countrymen because you're from Trinidad. Yes. Where in Trinidad are you from?
So I am a South boy. I'm from San Fernando.
Okay.
Love my home.
And now you are so far from San Fernando, but before we even get there, because you're on this ridiculously amazing journey, I know you sing. I've heard you sing. I've listened to your recordings on YouTube. Tell me, how did you get started?
So I am from a very musical family. My dad's family, because that was really who I grew up around. My dad's family, we all went to the First Church of the Open Bible. So everyone was in ministry. My parents were in a group called Throne Room, and they would always be practicing writing songs, doing harmonies. So I was always in this environment where there was a practice or a rehearsal. I grew up playing between chairs in pews at church because my parents were practicing in the choir, or I would have spent a lot of time in studio because my parents were recording an album with Throne Room. So it was something that I've been around my entire life. And the truth is, I don't remember a genesis of singing. My parents, they have stories of my sister and I singing or standing next to my father and singing along to notes that he played on the piano. And I have no recollection of that. I must have been too young. So singing, as cliche as it sounds, singing has always been something that I've just known. So there is no start to my story.
Yeah, I understand. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially what you just described, because if your parents are singing and their friends are over, it just becomes part of you. It's just part of life.
Yeah.
Really. Okay, so I understand that. But the amazing thing though is that you transition from singing into, I don't know if it's transition, well, yeah, transition from singing into stage acting. So now it's two disciplines that you've merged. Did you envisage that when you were younger? Is that something that just kind of happened?
This question always throws me because the truth is, I love singing. Singing is everything to me. Acting, however, I'm a bit iffy about it because I'm not entirely sure I'm good at it. It's a practice that's always a bit swing, and maybe I hit, maybe I miss.
Mhm.
But I grew up wanting to be a Disney star. That was my goal. A goal of mine was to have my own show on Disney Channel and to be friends with Hannah Montana and just be like, hey guys, let's go to the mall. And I knew, so in my head, I knew that maybe I would, if I was offered a TV show, maybe I'd take it. If they asked me to do a movie, maybe I'd do it. But there was never really a plan to do acting. There was never a pursuit of acting. But um, the in my life, there were instrumental people placed in there that ended up teaching me about acting and teaching me about the stage. And it's something that, without my knowledge, just kind of squeezed its way into my life. And now here I am at 20 how much years of age, and I find myself on a stage doing Shakespeare, and it's like, how did I get here? This was not the plan. So it 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 worked out perfectly, but it definitely wasn't planned.
Yeah, I understand that. I like to call them threads. It's kind of like something starts in your childhood, and it's kind of weaving its way through your life, and then later on you get to a place and you're like, wait, there was evidence of this kind of earlier on, but I had no idea this is where it was going to lead. So I call them threads.
I like that. I like that.
So we were just talking about singing and just being immersed in a family where that's what you all did. But you've taken that and you've transitioned into stage acting. And so I just want to learn a little bit more about that. Like, how would you have gotten that start? And this is a great story because this is how we met. So I'd love if you would share that. Like, how did you get your start in stage acting?
So my stage acting journey, there are two very important points in this journey. So I'm at church, and a friend of the family, Mary Hamilton, I knew her as Mary Charles, Auntie Mary. She, I don't remember what the circumstance was, but she came behind me and she was like, I would like you to be a part of this. I'm not sure if it was a mime or something. It was something. I was very young. My cousin and she asked us to be a part of this thing that the drama team was doing in church. And we did it. And Auntie Mary was someone that was passionate about drama and the arts. Like, she was passionate. And she refused to put something on that was not excellent. She refused not to see someone push themselves to be the best that they could be.
Yeah.
So Auntie Mary, she was like coaching. She was like, yes, you're not saying anything, but you have to be mindful of your face. Like, these are the things, like, if you want to convey this emotion, what would you do with your face? If you're feeling sad, if you're feeling happy. And she ran me through the basics of being on stage. And I'm not sure if I did any acting at that age, but then that kind of cooled off for a while. And then I joined the Oratory Foundation. And the Oratory Foundation is a foundation where students are taught the basics of poetry, prose, we are taught even debate. You learn to write poetry, you learn Shakespeare. There's a lot of things that you learn. And when I started the Oratory Foundation, you start writing poetry, you learn about poetry, and you start writing them. And at the end of every section, you have a competition where it's not really for the sake of competing, but it's about performing your written craft. So you get like a costume done and you step up on your stage. If maybe we were doing about Trinidadian history, and you step out on your stage and say, in 1492 or 1498, again, history is not my strong suit, Christopher Columbus came to Trinidad. He sailed the seas. It wasn't bad. Like, you got into the habit of doing this on a small scale, just in front of friends and family. And in my head, I didn't see it as stage acting. I didn't see it as acting. It was just This is just this thing that I did on a Saturday. And as as you progress through the ranks of the Oratory Foundation, eventually you reach the Oratory Shakespeare Society. And that is where we start staging full Shakespeare plays.
Okay.
And oh my gosh, that's when I kind of fell in love with acting. I really did. There's something about doing a play. I don't know how to describe it. It just feels so good to like not be someone for a while. You
It's
take on
like take on this persona of whatever
exactly.
you're portraying, right?
Yeah, you get on stage in this costume that's not fitting to Trinidadian time at all, and you're talking like forsooth and whence, and it feels so fun and so liberating. So that's kind of how I got here into the world of acting.
So now we're going to take the journey a little further because from that, and I've experienced the like what you just described in terms of the performance that the students of the Oratory Foundation give, and it was for me it was amazing just to see you have like 6-year-olds and they're doing this monologue that's like 2-3 minutes long, and I'm like,
Same.
how do they remember this stuff? But it was great. It was fantastic.
It
So
really is.
with that background. Now you are a member of the UK and Ireland tour for the Lion King, and you've been doing this for the past 2 years. Now I'm sure everybody wants to know, how do you transition from the Oratory Foundation and now boom? I mean, you're living a dream, and you're living your dream because you wanted to be doing this. So you're basically living your dream, and I'm sure other people who are interested in this. And I think what I love about it too, it's not necessarily a contemporary profession for the Caribbean person. You know what I mean? It's not. And so share that with us. How did that happen?
So this is an interesting one. It really is. Um, I very much like a Caribbean person. I was of the mindset that if I was going to be an adult, I need to be in a grounded profession, you know, not the arts, because there's this prevailing mindset that if you work in the arts, you work on peanuts, you know? And there's another love in my life. I love people. I love interactions and hearing them and talking to them. So I did my degree in psychology. That was my goal. That was my plan. Psychology. That was where I was going to make a living. And I did my degree, 2017, graduated, and I was home for months. Just couldn't get a job. And in December of that year, Music TT, they put out this ad that they were looking for singers for this new program. No idea what it was about. I shared it to my friends. A few of us auditioned, and I got through. So I went to do this showcase, and the truth is, I learned about it as I was doing it because I wasn't very diligent in reading about things. It was just like a whim.
Yeah.
And the showcase was where they put you in front of international judges that work in the industry, and they start helping you shape your career to become an artist.
Okay.
Because they really wanted to start boosting the artists that came out of Trinidad and Tobago, start lifting us up and really teaching us more so we could have a better platform to stand on when we go out into the world, because we're competing on an international stage now.
Right.
And I did that. And the long and the short of it is I was successful in getting through to the finals of that showcase, and from that launched a career as a professional singer. So that was my job. I started
Right.
working as a singer. And I did that for 2018, all of 2018. And January 2019, I get a text, a DM on Instagram. You doing this? What is this? Open the link. The Lion King is looking for singers and dancers in the Caribbean. I'm like, I'm no, I don't know what this is. So I didn't really think anything of it. And then other people started messaging me, you have to do this. We are doing this. Let's go to this audition. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Fine. So my friends and I decided we're gonna do the audition. So we go up to, I think it was at the Chancellor Hotel. We go up there and it's like 8 in the morning. We sign up and we sit outside nervous, absolutely nervous, just waiting. And you could hear these singers, amazing singers. And it's just like, oh my gosh, you realize how small you are in this world of grand people. And uh, I remember when I did my audition, I the last thing I said to my friend before I went into the audition room was, I'm glad I'm here, but I know I'm not going to get this. And my friend was like, stop doubting yourself, like you could do it. And I was just like, okay, yeah, whatever. Went inside, did my audition, and they were like, we'd like to see you tomorrow for callbacks. I was like, what? No, this is not, this doesn't make sense. Uh, so I did the callback, and they said, you know, we'll call you maybe in a week, maybe in a month. Cool, sure, that's great. And in my head, I'm thinking, well, that's the end of that. Like that was that's cool. Not even sure when it is. At this point, I'm at home, not working, and I wake up. My phone is ringing at about 9 a.m. Dead tired. Hello, good morning. Hello, I'm looking for Daniel Griffith. I'm calling from the Lion King. Fly up, slap my face. Just 1 second. Like, yes, hello, good morning. How are you? And that was how I got there. It wasn't calculated in any way. It was just these little turns. When something in life didn't seem to work out, I people were like, why don't you try this? Like you know that you can sing. You've been singing all your life in church. Try this. Like let's take it. My parents were really encouraging in it. They were like, Daniel, try your hand at it. Little turns along the road, nothing too significant, little tweaks, just trying to sing some more on social media, all these things, building the confidence to start seeing myself as someone that could be a singer, that could be a performer. And here I am now, living as a performer. And it's just like, this is wild. It's crazy.
Love that story. I love because so often you think it has to be this huge grand moment. And I
Yeah.
love how you said it's the little turns, the things
Little,
that you think are insignificant. And maybe at times you kind of dismiss, you know what I
yeah.
mean? But I think the amazing thing is that you took the turns, you
Yeah.
know? So it led you to the Lion King. So tell us about that. Like what character, what's your role in the musical?
Right. So I am an ensemble singer, which means I get to sing most of the songs.
Okay.
So in Circle of Life, I am one half of the rhino because it's a two-man costume. uh, and then I just do all these little things. So like I wear a grass head, and I I do a hyena in those
Okay.
scenes when Scar has his hyenas, and I love it because I get to sing everything. And the show has such good music.
Yes,
So I
it
get to
does.
sing everything. And then I also understudy one of the principal hyenas, Banzai.
Hmm.
He is he's fun. He's so much fun. It's fun to be a bad guy. So that's those are the two things that I do.
But if so, you get to do most of the songs you said. So if you had to choose one that you feel like, oh, this is just, I love it. Can you choose? Because I know sometimes it might be difficult, but can you choose if you were to
I
choose one?
can. I actually
Which
can. I so okay, I'll say this. There are two songs. The first is Shadowland. I love Shadowland. It is Nala's song. It's not in the film actually,
okay.
but it's a song that Nala sings. And it is, oh my gosh, it's just I don't know how to describe it. It just makes my heart feel like yes, because she's talking about how she's leaving the Pride lands, but she'll always remember her family, and it just has this Fatile Sulia Halalela. It's very I love it.
I like that.
But then there's another song
Uh-huh.
that Rafiki sings.
Okay.
It's the eulogy when after, so spoiler alert, if people haven't seen The Lion King, Mufasa dies. After his death, there's a scene when Rafiki comes in and sings a eulogy. And our Rafiki, her name is Tandy. Tandy sings and the earth moves. I am telling you. And it's this scene where the stage and the theater are dead quiet. And you just have this voice ringing out through like everywhere. And I can't sing it, but that's my favorite song to listen to. So every night I'm standing in the wings just listening to that song. But in terms of singing, Shadowland is the one.
Just made me want to go to England and to see play.
Love to have you come.
I was wondering because what you mentioned Shadowland. So the play and the movie, there is some variation in terms of the songs, as well as I'm sure you can't go into it, but just in terms of the development of the story, there's some different variation between the two.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very, very, very slight.
Okay. I just wondered. So going back a bit, you get the call, you arrive there, it's your first performance, you're about to head on stage. What was that experience like? Because this is like your dream come. You know what I mean? Like it's happened for you. And it's so funny because I feel like there's almost some parallels in terms of when I think of the storyline of The Lion King, like coming into this thing that that is unexpected, you know what I mean? And it's almost like, and your life is almost like parallel because now you're coming into this moment yourself.
Yeah.
So you come into the moment, you're standing there, you're about to step out. What is that experience like?
Whew, it is exhilarating. One of the things I remember about my first show is that I was not nervous at all, which is weird because I'm a nervous person. I get terrified when I have to go up to sing worship in church, and I've been doing that since I was like 14. But the show is, because there's a standard that they want to keep. The show's been on for years, so we practice meticulously. We would run the show multiple times a day, in costume, out of costume. So by the time the first show came, I knew what I was doing. I knew where I had to go, where I was supposed to be, and I knew everyone else around me knew.
Right.
So it was wonderful because I was fully free to just enjoy it. I wasn't scared. I wasn't telling myself, ooh, what if I mess up? I was fully open and able to just enjoy this experience. And it's crazy. It really is. I don't know how to describe it. We walk into the audience for the first song, and you walk in, and the first thing you're met with is smiling faces. People are just like, oh, hi. And you almost want to stop singing and say, hi, how are you? It's so nice to see you. Thank you for coming. It takes speechless.
What was your most memorable experience in terms of
Okay. So
tell us about that, because when I read that I was like, wow, that's beautiful.
So, circle of life. Let's set the stage. The lights are off. It's quiet. The curtains are closed. And Rafiki comes out on stage. She starts, City Who, and then very slowly the theater comes to life. It's like morning. the sun is about to rise. It's morning time, so the theater starts waking up. The lights slowly come on. The curtains open, and Circle of Life. So Circle of Life goes on. The animals come on stage. You get to this place till we find a place on the path unwinding. Like it's everybody's into it now. And by this point, you have been fully drawn into this experience. Circle of Life ends with this boom that we call a door slam.
Okay.
I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to describe it. You feel it in your chest. So till we find out there's a person in the circle of life. Boom. And when it happens, the theater goes dark. So you get this. And right after that, because just that boom in itself is an experience.
Yeah.
But you have this second of silence, and then people just start roaring because they're like, wow! And the first time, I was just like, oh my goodness! It felt so good to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And every single night since then, it's the thing I look forward to in the show because it's fantastic. So yeah.
Sounds exciting. I told you really make me feel like, oh, I need to go see The Lion King. I need to go see The Lion King. When you think of, so we talked about the fact that you started off and your plan prior to stage acting was singing. Do you still have that dream? Do you still have that goal?
Definitely. To this day, I will always say I still see myself as more of a singer than a theater person, performer, actor. Singing is my first love. It really is. I continue to write, and I continue to kind of push myself to, because it's always a little difficult when the words that you're about to share are yours. Doing a stage show is a lot easier because the criticism isn't so much about you. It may be about your performance, but it's not about you. But when you go to share your heart, it's like, oh, I don't want people to read this. I don't want people to hear this. But I keep pushing myself to continue to write and to continue to sing as Danielle, because really and truly, that's my goal. That's my heart. That's where I want to be. I want to be a singer. Yeah.
And what genre though do you sing? What is your genre?
So I would definitely say I'm a pop singer, but I love folk music. I really, really do. Yeah, there's a group called Mumford and Sons.
Oh yes.
Very kind of bluegrassy, kind of bluegrass. I'm not even sure what to call it, but I love that feel.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my vibe.
Nice. I like that. So it's good to see that you're able to still pursue this dream even as you're pursuing this current dream.
Yeah.
But the journey is exciting, Danielle. It really is, and it's super encouraging. And I hope that people who are listening will be encouraged just by how, like we talked about, those small turns that turn into something extraordinary. What is some lesson or a bit of a maxim that somebody shared with you that you've held on to?
So I've learned a lot of lessons. One of the big ones is to take it easy on yourself sometimes. And I don't mean that in the sense of laziness or not being productive or anything like that. But it's very, very easy to become critical of yourself. It's very easy to start interpreting failure as I am not good.
Right.
And when that starts to happen, we start blocking ourselves off. We start building this ceiling because you're telling yourself, I'm not gonna get this. I can't do this note. I keep auditioning for this role and I can't get it. And it becomes a block. And without realizing it, you stop reaching as high, you stop striving as much as you can. And one of the things that I've learned through my father is, okay, Danielle, you made a mistake. You were on stage just now and you sang, and it was very off, very off key. Not a good performance. Can you still sing? Yes. Did that one performance take away the fact that you can sing? No. It was a bad performance. Yes. But can you still sing? Yes. So can you do better next time? Yes. Do you have
Wow.
something to work forward to? Yes.
Right.
So it's really hard. But I've learned that sometimes you really just need to not take yourself so seriously. Not everything isn't a make or break decision. This isn't going to be the thing that, oh no, people heard me sing badly and now I will never be who I should be. Sometimes it's good to take it easy on yourself, and it opens the room up to interpret failure as lessons or as places to grow. And that's something that I've definitely learned.
Is that the same advice you would share to somebody, or is there something else that you would want to say to the person who is looking ahead to something that seems a bit out of reach
Yeah.
and trying to figure out how do I get to that place?
So what I would say to the person with big dreams is, what did they say? The journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. Little steps, little steps. Sometimes, like with myself, I would love to be a fitness person. And every once, like probably once a month, you remind yourself that you want to be fit and you go and you exercise very hard. And then you get sore and you take a break for 2 months because you just want to take these leaps. You just want to go. But that is crazy people behavior. Don't do that. Small steps. It takes tiny steps. And tying back into what I said last is your mindset matters. It really, really matters. So even though you're just taking small steps, the best thing that you could do is take small steps like a giant, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I like the nuggets, Daniel. I like the nuggets that you're giving. You know, it's great things to hold on to. It's
Yeah,
great
thank
things to hold
you.
on to. And I think particularly the last thing is because I think it speaks to personal integrity. So I'm not waiting for a moment to be excellent, but I'm being excellent at whatever I do.
Yep.
But I'm also being gracious with myself. So I'm not fighting for this huge step to be discouraged. I'm
Yeah,
making sure that in each moment that I bring my best. So I
exactly.
love it. I like that. I like that. As we for the past year, I mean, it's been tumultuous. It's been tumultuous. We started off talking when we were chatting at the beginning about just COVID-19, the pandemic, and the impact it's had. How has it affected you? Because
Ooh.
yeah, what? Or I should probably ask, what has that impact been like for you?
Yeah.
Because it will certainly affect just your profession and the musical, and that would have been on pause for a while. So how has that been, and when do you start again, and how are you feeling about the start? Because you're going to be back doing your
Yeah.
thing.
So I have been at home since March of 2020, I believe.
Wow.
So the majority of time I've been in the UK has not been for the reason I've been in the UK, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Um, but when when the pandemic hit, initially it felt like this. I mean, it wasn't a good thing, but it felt like this break. You've been going so hard, doing so many things. We do 8 shows a week and sometimes nine. And it could get tiring. It could get,
Yeah.
to you. And so when it initially happened, it was like this, okay, I have time to, because you're thinking this is just gonna be a 1 week or 2 week hiatus. So, I'm gonna make the best of it. And then weeks became months. And so it goes. And it was really weird. It was such a weird experience because it's for me in particular, my castmates, the ones that were in that they live here, they went to their homes.
Mhm.
And then the other international people, some of them had friends, or we were in the same city, but because of restrictions, we couldn't see each other. And it was this time that was so easy to feel alone because I'm not by my family. I had roommates, but they don't have my accent. I can't talk Trini with them, you know? And it was this really, really odd, challenging thing. But one of the things that really came out of that experience is the appreciation for what I have and what I've achieved.
Right.
And I started realizing I am so grateful for this because there were times in doing the Lion King that I felt like I was stagnant. Like I felt like I should have been doing more. Like I'm telling myself I'm so close to 30. Yeah, that's what I'm telling myself. I'm so close to 30. I should have done more. I should have released an album by now. I should. And I started taking things very, very hard on myself. And the pandemic allowed these moments of clarity
Right.
where it was like Daniel, you it may not be everything that you wanted, but you've done a lot.
Yeah.
And you're allowed to enjoy it. You're allowed to sit back and enjoy the ride. You're allowed to be happy about these things. And it was it that for me really shifted what the pandemic was in from being this period of being down and just feeling, oh, I want to go to work, to taking every every opportunity to just make it the best it could possibly be, to start writing again, to start practicing again, to start singing again, to start improving. And yeah, now we are at a place where things are really looking up. I'm
Okay.
going back to work soon. I should be back to work in a month's time. At this
Okay.
time of day, I should be in rehearsals. And I cannot tell you how ready I am. I the only thing I'm worried about is the physicality of it. I'm not entirely sure if I could do all the movements and singing at the same time. There's been a lot of sitting down happening this, but I am so excited. Can't wait. Can't wait.
So I'm glad for you. I'm happy for you that you're returning to work, returning to doing what you love.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you so much for this time. Thank you for this, just spending this time with us and sharing your journey. And it really is spectacular. Just like the musical,
Yeah.
it's a spectacle, and your journey is spectacular. And I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us. So
Thank you for having
thank
me.
you. You're welcome,
I love this.
Daniel. Gonna ask you, how do fans access your music, like your social media handles and such? Where would they find Daniel Griffith?
Cool. So you could find me on Instagram at Daniel Griffith Official. And on my Instagram, I have a link tree. So the link tree will take you to, I only have one song out right now. So it will take you to the YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever that you listen to that song. And I mainly use Instagram for now. So Instagram is the best way to connect with me. If you use Facebook, I have a Facebook page. It's just Daniel Griffith. And it's essentially my Instagram feed. Everything is posted in the same place. So you could find me there. And yeah.
So we'll have fans hit you up there.